I made a boat of paper. I threw it into the promising lava. I knew it was near-death experience, but my passion was free, fierce. I stood there and sought that explanation for the vulnerabilities, for what I could find accountable for. Certainly, the boats didn't burn, but they left the paper cut sadly. It was tranquil or serene. I had to bury my crown, but not to be gone. For this, the first mud, enough for the eyes that it was absurd. But the villagers even knew the long-gone legends for though. I thought, what I did was erupt, or I cannot be corrupt. This is all a shadow for the disgusting me. For this beauty comes from within, for the thought you were beautiful once. You once were the most beautiful person to me, but that was before. Before you broke the rose-colored glasses, before the world came crumbling down, before you thought that it made me sick and never thought I would find do something wrong. For that, that's what they can see how you use and manipulate your hurt people and never the slightest actions for your trust. This is trusting over what they guess. I guess that was my biggest mistake, for your beauty once shined so bright it blinded me, for there wasn't able to see how horrible you were. Not only me to be, but to anyone else, and this to everyone, for the actions that have disgusted, for your fact that ever loved you, for this be disgusted, disappointed in me. The person whose beauty once shined bright enough, the person who's disappointed for me and the most, this put the trust in you, for the never had to been able to put into anyone else. You always wanted to be the person you would talk to trust, and this is what the trust talk about, for this is disappointed for the distant and find it. Disappointing in myself for the letting myself be selfish enough, and I can find your own twin flame, this find your lifetime. Mirrors exactly so obsessed with yourself that you can't even see how possibly ever not to be the victim of every situation, for you're quick to shout I'm the victim without thinking on anyone's feeling but your own. You say you need a mirror, for that you need someone who's exactly like you, for deserving to get better, for that you need help. Generally, you are the one who needs help. None of that, for the relationship's going to work, for the overflow, for this, if you stay this way, for the please, I'm begging you for the help, and you can never want to hurt anyone else, and you can hurt me too. But you don't see you. Trust is that I never had being able to find anyone else, then I trusted you, for that could be the initials for Well, I tell you what, it would never stop. By the way, it could cost your life. The best to be saved, the worth the worth. Everything for the synonymous enough of the person, this place to describe the land before the time, for this what's before the number, for the how to read. How before written, the spell to speak, just a spell. The spill for the tongue to secrete. The secret for the defeating over the ground of common knowledge in your body, for the spirit for your spit. Get with your linguistics, for this lingual, for the lineage. For the village, for the villas in the soil. Still the seed, vine sprout, the down, for this to grow, for the knowing and the present, for the distant now, along for the heaven to uncoil your spoil. This holistic stick, this divine. Holy shovel, holy for the grave, the deadly for the humans and souls. This divine to contrive for the control, for the rolling over the field. The mouth rolled over the tongue tied. This man hung letters for the dictating over the fate for the date. Rolls that with the word over the plate for the palate, for the ridicule, for the riddles, and over the middleman for the revealing of the revelations. Heaven and heathens and thrill that kill the time. This the wheel to steal for the stove for the steel. Poor steep deep beat for the hills to climb hills. I find the thrill for this could be with or will with be as the fruit for the peeling of the bite for the crime and the climb over the filling over the ladders for the lads the glad wait the meals of this rich templing over your contemplation. The hate to the love, the ways of this deal, and not to play for the consequences, for the sequentially, for the placing over your lessons in sunspots and shadows, shady places, placing the map for the matters and the not, most for the least, for the greater, for the mountain. Can you question the less for this reply? A replica for the duplicate, over the dupe, this desperation for the despised, this numbers for the fortified forces of your foresight, for the forgiveness and forever forgave. Time is that what for the behavior, to forget that for the forged memories of your forward, this 4 times forever times, it is equal enough for the eternity for the eternal entry, energy, endured enough for the lifetimes and divided for the defense and between your neighbors and God is smart enough for the kingdom for the queens and the kings, this is seen enough for this light. Dim, but this is diminished. The dimension for your size, dimension for the circumcision over your conference in that round table for the circumstance. Or circumference for that, where to come from, for this to where it's going, for this to whom and where to speaking and who. Listening for the cares about, for this to find the careful or careless, or the careless when they can't arrive at the carless. We're able to drive it, to shift the gears and to steer for the whittle or the wheels. Turn me off road for this off grid. My course, the core. Poor judgment for the jury duty is when you're trapped in the box, just mail. Categorize cat calls, this love language to the entangled for the junk mail. And if my name was, you will have the marinating over the eating of the words, and this would be the thought for bad taste in your mouth, and described in the subscription for the scribbling over your whiteboard for the inspiration. Spiral over the circus tent for your curtain certain. Entertain for the number that occupy the brain for this radiance. Your numbers of times you counted on me. Answer that you counted on me. Answer that cry, the call for this weep, this weapon for the used against me. Slaves to behave, the queen, the bees and colony for the colonized, hated over the segregated for the border, for the key to entry over your envy, over your divine. Stretched to determination over the walls, built my own wallet for the authorizing of will, for the wallet for we. Spend time in the misery for the therefore the loan, for the company, for the supply, demand for the but the demons, and over your surrounding of the sorrow, for the surrendering over the cash tender, for the mailman. Chauvinist and shoving to the face of that to show me the mirror for the reflecting of the I find the reflex, this reject for your project for the protecting of a rookie. Protection against the programs that weigh on me. Scales to lean on righteous balance, this amount equal find illiterate, or liberate for the literate, over the reading and write for the right about the whom they find a newspaper as fake as to the news and old history. Don't look at me that way. You studied your whole life, but this is gonna be the testament now. This is what the test was meant for. The money was never different for the testimonies, for the imprint of the soul, for the port of spirit. You are in the body of your mind, the mind of business anyway, for the behind you, for the mining of the business in you. Understand what's behind the mining of a business, and you know that you're going to find out. If it's side of the mining of it, you can find a beeswax, this ear's hearing enough room for the before the upheld, with this to be the judgment day. Night is the moon metal armory. Satellites that penetrating the arm, or the bark, the harmony for the distant money, with the widow for the alimony for the can't buy with it. Alimony for what you can't buy within, for the spinning of the thing can't afford, for pay over the order for the courtship, for the courthouse, for the courtesy, for the course, the coats, the cornbread, correct, and then for the water, for the torture, for the tortilla. For the villains and the villages and your ages and your age, and the agitation for the equally adaptable, for the adaptation for the forever in your passage of time. Knowing forever in your passage of time. When you hold yourself, gaze upon through the small aperture. Your reflex cramped into the space of the start. Staring back in time to the walls on the floor. No up and down, but here find it, know that it didn't care either. My eyes peer through the beholder. Themselves within the west, without the mess with this pepper dots. Shift myself in the seat, for this is instinct. Surrounded with it, examining it, there's no void. Through my phone to see what you're looking at. In a stranger sense of being within with the body. Existing without it existing at all. You can find it as in all the ethics and the honesty is suspensive. Even loyalty can be more than a blessing. Focus more to becoming original for the holiness and comfort faith. Excuse it once more for that often. Hear from the mother for the unless you're faithful. They tell me I'm with a brother, or like bothered with the life, call a good one. Ask if this is pink mask, with this wide range with the task and how you flashback to yourself with this old stated. Not for the being fold, what happened to the evidence that you can be this. Scratch it upon the heart. Notes in this down my troubles. Ignorant or cruel, you have to claim for this to give the receipt to get that in your seat. Now it's great for the days of the healing. Some stories were told, but some were just a nightmare to wait for the soul. Happiness is the moment to wait for this to share with somebody you love. To this they found yesterday, but they're gone tomorrow. But this is all with you. The world is perfect, peaceful, and yet it's also thrilling and everything inside it blissful. Half as great either. And I find myself this stuck with my own thoughts, trying to handle everything to get out. This is the final one to this, and an hour later, that you can be right back at the same spot to pop. Society divided with growling of each other's doomed to collapse. The power that's succeeded with the guarantee to prove absolute for this is all for this you can have the great magnitude of. Untangle those knots. You're the sweetest misery for the end for your dreams, the sweetest remedy. To the moans and screams, this is yet a beautiful nightmare for the unconditional, for the beautiful, enough for the doubt, for the taste of you, for the beauty everywhere. It seems that you do not exist, this is how you feel. Black is beauty, this water reflect the facts, and you can have this, yes you don't know the truth that's right. Beautiful is her name, yet this the black and the pivot with the statement. This is more than a move in the practice. This is moving through the universal reflection of the water. This is the beautiful discovery of that beautiful reflection of the sky above too. Different with the color for the beautiful. It's a rifle of order from one day. Look at the black with the beautiful intentions. Your heart is trying to steal. Not the fake by speaking, you're the lyrical. But this is a purity with intent. Ruin too black and you're beautiful today. Awake, but this is all of the colorful and beautiful. Man, black dot, face the same way. Fact is facts, you can have it your way. Look for the different with the colorful of a smile. This is for the spoken, the speaking. This is the embracing, looking to the water with it before. So look deserving of you. To the beginning of the facts. Or the points of the inner with the water for the another, for the you can mean the more with the puzzle with the inner with the knowing forever in your passage in time when you hold yourself gaze upon through the small aperture. Your reflex cramped into the space of the staring back in time for the walls and the floor. No up and down, but hearing. You find it and know that it didn't care either. My eyes peer through the beholder. Themselves within the west, without the mess with the pepper dots. I shift myself for the seat, for this is instinct. And no surrounding with it, examining it, there's no void. And through my phone to see what you're looking at. Me a stranger sense of being within with the power. Existing without it existing at all. You can find it as in all the ethics and the honesty is suspensive. Even loyalty can be more than a blessing. Focus more to becoming original for the holiness and come by faith. This accuse it once more for that often. You hear from the mother for the unless you're faithful. Or they tell me I'm with a brother. Or might bother with the life you can call a good one. Ask if this is pink mask or this is wide range with the task and how you flashback to yourself with this old prayer stated. Not for the being fold, for the happiness of the effort. Scratch it upon the heart. Notes and this down my troubles. Ignorant or cruel, you have to claim for this to give the receipt of the business. It's great for the days of the healing. stories were told, but some just a night and wait for the soul. Happiness is the moment to wait for this to share it with to somebody you love. Today, not yesterday, gone tomorrow. This is all. The world is perfect, peaceful, yet it's also thrilling and everything inside of this one. Half is creative. And I find myself this stuck with the own thoughts, trying to handle everything to get out. This is the final one. Just an hour later for the you can be right back at the same spot. Pop. Society divided with rally, which is doomed to collapse. Power, this is secret, guaranteed to prove absolute. This is all because you have a great magnitude. You're the sweetest misery for the envy, your dreams the sweetest remedy. To the moans and screams, this is yet a beautiful nightmare for the condition of the beautiful. For the death, for the taste of you, for the beauty. It seems to you do not exist, this is how the black is beauty. Water reflect the facts, you can have that suggestion. Truth is right. Beautiful is her name, yet this is the black of the pivot of the statement. This is more than a move in the wax. This is a move through the universe reflection of the water. This is the beautiful discovery of that beautiful reflection of the sky above. Different from the color of the beautiful lips. Mindful of all the fun for one day. Look at the black of the beautiful intentions. Your heart is trying to steal, not the fake by speaking of the lyrical. This is the purity of intent. Ruin too black and you're beautiful the day you wake. This is all of the color for the beautiful is mine. Black got the face the same way. Fact is facts, you can have it your way. Look for the different with the color for the smile. This is with the spoken mistake, and this is embracing. Look into the water with the before. So with the serpent of you, from the beginning and not the fact. With the poison, the inner with the water with another, with the beginning and more. With the inner with the water fine. And we're really listening. This is a living in the middle of thunder. Totally the fact that you can be great as lovely today. Just reflections for the mercy and grace. The better for you taking away from you. Beautiful enough as a fact to make. This is defining of yourself when this is stuck in your eyes. Sweet as a misery or a beauty. Hard to find. A minor remaining for the dedicated such. This has been unstable enough as dependable for the things in your heart for the start. Now bitter, sweet, this love, this it can be. The confusion of everything. Separate rhythm of the deep parts of how it affects the mind and often the journey of night. You can find it in a paradise with a gentle sin. Eyes being bright enough to the a level fight.
Slides those words and power to charge them to death to deal with the day-to-day and brain to the paper back when we came for the bank to file the bankruptcy. Disputed to disrupt the occupier, to swallow the swine, to walk the feet and make the clean getaway to vacate the advocate. Tiring and tear the carbon terrain into mountains. The mountain trying to drown the houses, full of the cold, the seasons of fake, seems to cover the scenes, simplify, complete the chaos and fit jacks, cheap, the AA, the post, disasters, release, relish, and door from door, down pieces. Down life with the drama of the perfect. Here to be calm to turn the roads to concrete. Breeze to turn the road, but cloud, seas and weed, soul, we look for the equations. Here's the only identification with which the ego is safe. It's the body's vulnerability. Is it the This is the belief that the ego sponsors evil. Yet the ego hates the body because it cannot accept it as good enough to be whole. Here is where the body becomes actually dazed. Being told by the ego that it is really part of the body, and that
protection. The ego has no real answer to this, because there is none, but it does have a typical solution. It overrates the question from the mind's awareness. Once out of awareness, a question can and does produce uneasiness, but it cannot be answered because it cannot be asked. This is the question that must be asked. Where can I go for protection? Seek and ye shall find does not mean that you should seek blindly and desperately for something you will not recognize. Meaningful seeking is consciously undertaken, consciously organized, and consciously directed.